Welcome back to the Gun Dungeon, guys. As you can tell from the title and the picture in the video, we're going to be looking at the 7.62 by 3.9 round today. One of my favorite rounds. I think it's one of Gel Block Jim's favorite rounds too. He might be about half communist. I ain't figured it out yet. But we've got 5 different loads here today. I'm going to shoot it into bare ballistics gel. I'm not going to put denim on there. A couple of these rounds are kind of geared more towards hunting. I wish that I had the 154 grain Wolf soft point. I've seen a lot of people talking about using that round for deer hunting, but these crazy times I can't find it. I've been looking for it for months, can't find it anywhere. So if I find it later, maybe I'll do it again. But I do have some Wolf hollow point, just standard old steel case stuff. Nothing to write home about. I don't even know if it'll expand. All the ammo here today is 123 grain. Like I said, I wish I had one of the 154s, but can't find it. So we'll have that one. These two are hand loads. This is using the Speer 123 grain gold dot, and that is a .311 diameter bullet. So it's designed for the 7.62 by 3.9, or if you wanted to load it into a 303, I guess you could. Be wild velocities. But this is the Varmageddon. I believe that's made by Nosler. I think I'm going to swear to it. But it's the 123 grain Varmageddon. I expect that one to kind of explode. Probably a lot of jacket separation and fragmenting. And these next two are factory loads. The first one is the Federal soft point. It doesn't say anywhere on it, I've looked the box over, it doesn't say anything about it being the Fusion line. So I don't know if that's a bonded bullet or not. I can't tell by looking at it, and it don't say anywhere on the box, so it just says soft point. So we got that. And finally, we have some Hornady black. I think it's black, or no, it's not black. We have some standard Hornady SST. And this is a steel case, but it is loaded with a SST bullet. So we'll see how that one does. I'm going to be shooting it today out of this little Ruger American Ranch 16-inch barrel. So for you AK guys or guys that's running real short barrels, this is about as short as I'm going to get with what I've got. So This is an excellent little rifle. I'll probably do a video on it by itself here in the future. This is one of the funnest rifles that I have in my safe, just because it's so light, so handy, shoots what used to be a cheap round. Takes the mini 30 mags. It's got a threaded barrel on it. It's just, and the thing shoots lights out. I mean, it shoots way more accurate than I would have ever expected from this round. It really serves it justice. So I'm going to load this mag up, and I'm going to load it in reverse order of the way we're going to shoot it. So I'm going to, Hornady SSTs going in first, so it'll be last. This Federal Fusion, this Federal soft point, that may be Fusion, I don't know, doubt it, that'll be second to last. Then we will load up the Varmageddon gold dot, and the first one I'm going to shoot is going to be this Wolf hollow point, because I think that one's probably going to penetrate the deepest and won't have it setting in the block to get hit. So as I said, it's going to go Wolf hollow point, Speer gold dot, Nosler Varmageddon, Federal soft point, and then HST. So I'm going to get turned around here, get the camera set up, and let's see how they do. Well, butter my biscuits. That thing expanded, and expanded pretty nicely. See the wound tracked pretty good, a little bit of fragmentation. And check this out, guys. It stopped before it went out the block. It's about ½ inch from doing so, but you can see some jacket separation there. It done something, it expanded somewhat. Doesn't look uniform, but definitely did something. Wouldn't have expected that. All right, I think old Jim gonna be going for a little bit of ride on this one. So look at that. I'm hoping this camera is catching that wound track. You can actually see how big that is. But color me impressed. That is a good wound track. That's pretty catastrophic. And look at this. There it sits right next to the wolf. And that's the Speer gold dot. You can kind of see it, the clearer spot there. But we'll dig them out and take a look anyways. But again, under 16 inches of penetration. We're about 15 right there. I ain't even gonna get the tape measure out because it's pretty easy to tell that close to the end of the block. But wow, look at that wound tract. All right, next up is that Varmageddon. Let's see how it does. Guys, I thought we was going to have to say goodbye to Jim on that one. I think he set a record. He went high enough for me to stand up, take my earmuffs off, look around in the air for him, and then hear him land about 10 feet behind me. Yeah, I like to never found him. But look at the wound tract. This 7.62 by 3.9 is really impressing me quite a bit. So that Varmageddon, 123 grain, you can see it started shedding some jacket, shedding some lead, quite a bit right there. Some smaller chunks back here in the main wound tract. It continues to do that. You can see a little bit of loss right there. And it's setting just barely against the back of the block. So really consistent penetration so far. Now, I wouldn't have expected that, honestly. So next up, I believe, is the Federal Soft Point factory load. All right, so now we got the tape measure out. Hopefully you can see it. This block is a little bit cloudy, but this top tract, we're on the opposite side of the block now. That top tract is from the Varmageddon. This tract right here, and I know it's hard to see, is from that Federal Soft Point. It's not nearly as massive of a wound cavity as the other two, maybe even three were, but it does hold that. Good wound tract all the way down 10, 11 inches. And now we're getting into some penetration. Their rests are 123 grain Federal Soft Point. We are setting at 23 1/4, 3/8, somewhere in that ballpark of penetration. So now we're getting into some penetration. Let's get the tape measure out again. We got some more penetration. So this wound tract, the one you can see now, right here, that is the SST. You see the little red tip. Pretty good looking wound tract, honestly. More so than the Federal. I know they're all starting to blend together now, and this block's a little cloudy to start with, but really, like I said, that's it right there. It's closer to you than the nosler wound tract was, so you can actually see it. But good wound tract till about 12 inches, and you can see a little bit of fragmentation, a little bit of jacket, a little bit of lead, kind of typical of a lot of rifle rounds. But there it sits. A little bit less than the Federal, but we're 21 1/4. Somewhere in that ballpark. So let's dig them out and take a look. Okay, so something I want to show you real quick before we take a look at the others. So actually, I think I misled you a little bit on that Wolf hollow point, because once I went to digging them out, I noticed that this was just inside the second block. I mean, so far I didn't even have to cut it. I just stuck my finger in there and got it. That was, you may be able to see it on the other footage, but I haven't looked yet. So, but look at that. That jacket is hollow. So that means that is a hollow based hollow point. And honestly, in my opinion, I don't think that's a good thing. That means you have a tube of jacket and then a lead core. But either way, the core came completely out, separated from the jacket. And so here next, that is that Speer gold dot. And look at this thing. This thing expanded massively and just has wild looking petals, honestly. But that thing expanded like crazy. That's probably why we didn't get as much penetration. This is the Varmageddon, and it was violent. You can tell there's not a whole lot left of it. There's the Federal, not as much expansion as you could tell from the others. Plenty of shank left on the bullet to drive deep, and that's why we got the penetration. And there's the SST, kind of the same thing. Not as wide of an expansion, good expansion. Not as much shank left, but quite a bit. And again, that was another one of the deep penetrators. So definitely some interesting results. If you would have told me before I started this test that the gold dot was only going to penetrate 15.5 inches, I would have said no way. It normally does pretty good on penetration and everything else I've tested it in. They're rifle round anyways. But it did expand massively. The hollow point from Wolf, man, that really concerns me. You know, you could have an issue where that jacket getting stuck in the bore and blowing the core out, and then you having a bore obstruction after that, and then having another round come down the pipe. That, I mean, that having a hollow base, hollow point is generally not a good idea. Most full metal jackets are cup and core, and they have a hollow base, but the tip is enclosed, so it holds the lead core. Most hollow points have a cup and core, but the base is actually enclosed in the jacket, and the tip is open. That's the first time I've seen both the hollow point and a hollow base on a bullet. And honestly, that concerns me. I'm not too thrilled with that. I'm actually probably going to go pull a few of these bullets and take a look and see if they're actually like that without being fired. Yeah, it's a little concerning. Anyways, hope you guys liked today's video. If you did, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Share these videos. It helps channels like this. And again, don't forget to go check out Kentucky Range Time. Matt is an excellent dude. He's got a lot of good content. He has some of the best pictures that you will ever see on his Instagram. But Kentucky Range Time on YouTube, Kentucky Range Time on Instagram. Until next time, guys, stay tuned.